just say so. I see the Jesus way, and I'm walking in the light. I see the world in light. I see the world in wonder. I see the world in light. Bursting and living color. I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the light.
KCYP 97.7 FM, The City. We want to welcome everyone that is joining us for another episode of Evolving in the RGV with Elsa Medina. We want to welcome everyone watching us over YouTube, everyone over Facebook Live, and as well as 97.7 FM, The City, driving around in Edinburgh and McAllen, as well as those that are catching us over thecity977.com and over the app Radio Garden. So without further ado, I'm going to toss it over to Elsa Medina.
Thank you, Joe, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, RGV. Thank you so much to those of you that are tuning in, listening to Evolving in the RGV today. We have a special guest. She is a good friend of mine, a great mother, an amazing friend, an amazing sister, a health and fitness enthusiast, but most importantly, she is just a great human being. Jacqueline, thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your busy, busy schedule. So tell me and tell everyone else that is listening to us today, what is it that you dedicate yourself to?
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And same, I appreciate you and love you so much.
You're welcome. I love you too.
What was the question again?
What is it that you dedicate yourself to? What is your art? You know, Evolving in the RGV, to me, it's me bringing in creatives from around all RGV, and everyone has a different art. Even it doesn't mean art has to be painting and colors and crayons, but you know, it's what your art is. What is it that your art is?
I do a lot, actually.
A lot. I love that.
A lot. I'm a personal trainer. I just recently closed my studio. I had a gym. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm an esthetician. I'm studying for some cool things also. So I have a lot going on. Reaching out to the community, just,
bringing everyone together, helping, I guess, women evolve, right? That would be women evolve.
But also men, just community, bringing people together. Like, for example, something I learned in yoga is unity. It's for everyone. So fitness is for everyone. So
that's great. Is this also something that you always saw yourself doing since you were a little girl, or like something in your life had to happen to lead you to what you wanted to be, that inspired you?
So the beginning of my gym, it honestly fell into my hands. I was not expecting to open a gym, to ever own a gym. I was personal training. I started at Gold's Gym a couple of years ago, and
I did not know that.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Yes, I was working at Gold's Gym as a trainer.
Which one?
Sherryland. I was in Sherryland.
Crazy. I went there.
Really?
Yeah.
I never saw you.
Wow, that's awesome. Or we probably did. We were probably in the same gym at the same time,
Yeah.
but since we weren't so close, you didn't grab like my attention. So
Yeah.
now that we're close, we automatically gravitate towards people that we're close to in a setting, but we were probably in the same place at the same time. We just didn't notice each
The universe
other.
was already bringing us together.
It was in the works.
Yeah. And I was going to therapy because I got diagnosed with a herniated disc. And I remember sitting on the floor, stretching it out, and I was starting a new project with some friends that unfortunately, it didn't go as planned. And we had the studio, and the landlord calls me. He's like, hey, well, they're not coming back. Do you want to take over and do your gym? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes, I want it. And that's how my venture started with owning my own business. I was supposed to open, and then COVID hit.
No.
A week before everything happened. Like, I was going to open a week after they announced COVID. So I didn't get to open, but I feel like
Everything was already established, though? Like,
yes, everything was ready. But I feel like it was meant to be like that. I grew, I learned, and it gave me time to work on myself so I could learn this to have more to offer. to the people that depended and not depended, relied on me as their fitness trainer, and it gave me that space to work and create more.
And God works in mysterious ways. I feel that COVID was needed for a lot of people, and you probably needed that too. You were probably not ready to take on this role in your life because we look up to our trainers so much. I mean, you're my trainer yourself, right? I mean, people that are listening to this and don't know this, Jacqueline is actually my trainer. I started with Jacqueline about, 4 months ago, 3-4 months ago, and I've seen great results in such a short amount of time because you've taught me how to connect my mind with my body, which is something that I did not know. And it's been great. And I think that's with what you've learned in life with your yoga and your spirituality, like all coming together is what makes you you, and it makes your brand. And the figure salon was your first actual title that you came up with. What made you come up with that name, the figure salon?
So I was studying for my certification for trainer, and I remember I was sitting down, I get creative in silence. I have to be in silence and or cooking. While I'm cooking, all of my ideas can come to me when I'm cooking or working in silence. And I was reading the book, and the first women's gym was called the Figure Salon.
Really?
Yes. And it was those machines that you get on and they shake.
Yes.
Okay, that was a gym for women because women weren't allowed to be in a gym setting back in the day. And then resistant bands
That is
came
interesting.
in. And I was like, the Figure Salon. And I remember I asked, the first name was The Box. And then Jerry, my best friend, he's like, no, I really don't vibe with it. I'm like, yeah, me neither. The Figure Salon Fitness. So it could sound like the gym.
And I always thought that you had come up with the figure salon because your specialty is glutes, and it was like the glute figure, and it was like the figure salon because then you incorporated the peach emoji with the figure salon, and I thought that it had to do with that. You see, you're my friend, and I'm just now finding out that it has to do with the book.
Yes, and it, it kind of, I got so excited. I was like, that's such a great name. I incorporated the peach. I loved the peach. I went to go get my neon peach, but then it only targeted women, and that was not really my intention to just go for women. I work with anybody from children to any age to any, like, to me, it's how I said, fitness it's a unity. Everybody can do it. And it targeted women. But I mean, I loved it. I loved every moment of my venture with my gym. 3 years, they were wonderful. I'm so blessed that I got to
And you met
that.
so many great people. You build great relationships. Actually, I want to mention this. The way I met Jackie, we met through social media. She reached out to me on social media because you wanted me to style you for a photo shoot. You had never had a photo shoot. I think it was you were still at your old figure salon, the first one that you opened on 10th Street. And you told me, she messaged me on WhatsApp, and then we talked to each other on the phone, and we just talked for about an hour. We were just going off about wanting to help each other, women empowerment. I wasn't with the production yet, or the magazine. What was I doing at the time? I think I was at the spa. I was doing social media for the spa. And you wanted me to style you for your first photo shoot ever. And I was like, wow. You believed in me so much. And I'm like, wow. Like, you believed in me more than I believed in myself. And you told me, you're like, I want to feel pretty. And like, that's why I started wanting to train, because I used to never feel pretty in my own skin. And I had to learn to fall in love with myself. And if I could help other people fall in love with themselves too through something that I love doing, then I love that. And I want you to help me feel beautiful too in my first photo shoot. And I was like, wow, I hung up with you, and I just felt like if I knew you for such a long time. I'm like, this woman is amazing.
It's crazy how you remember that so well. Like, it just stayed with you, that I told you how I felt. It's been a battle, like learning self-love. Self-love is the best thing we can offer, because if we love ourselves, we love humanity.
For sure.
And that first photo shoot, I really wanted to do it for myself, and to love, like, to show that love, like, oh my gosh, I've come this far, and I'm just realizing how I look, what I have, and yeah, just showing.
And you were a
gratitude to
little bit of
myself.
hesitant. You were a little bit hesitant. You didn't want to look too provocative because I mean you have an amazing body, and you were also careful about what you were gonna wear because you didn't want to come off the wrong way. And you didn't. I don't think you didn't. I was like, just wear it, own it. I was being a little bit more confident for
You
you.
made me feel so confident in that photo shoot. That's when I went doing my yoga poses and just
Yes.
being free with my
Flowy.
body. I remember you told me the weirder the position, the better it'll look. I remember because it was in the little brown stool. You're like, the weirder and off you feel, the better the picture will come out. So that kind of stayed with me, and I reflected in my pictures, or like the weirder you kind of sit,
Feel.
you're the one that helped me with that.
And then I remember we were in a corner, and I told you, like, because you were like, how do you just know how to pose? And I'm like, I relate to posing a lot too. I relate to dancing because I grew up dancing. So whenever the camera's in front of me, I just pretend I'm dancing and I'm flowing with the movements to look elegant. And then I just go with it, and it's like a pose. And then you told me, well, it's like yoga. And I'm like, yes, exactly, like yoga and dancing. They're very similar. And then that's when you let go, and you started doing all these crazy yoga poses. You went
Yeah.
from like intimidated and you to like picking up your leg, and those pictures are
In heels.
yes, you were in thigh highs, and those pictures are amazing. We should print them out.
Those are some of my favorite pictures, to be honest.
Mine too. It was you were also one of my first styling clients.
Really?
One of my first photo shoots too. Yeah, I just always faked it till I make it, girl.
Wow.
I
would've
believed in
I didn't
myself.
know that either. That's crazy. Why are we just like this speaking about this?
Yes, and I'm pretty sure that's the way you feel too sometimes when you're training clients and they're asking you questions which you know and you've studied, but you're like, wow, they believe in me a lot.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Now talking about my clients, I miss them. I miss everybody. I miss my studio, and you know,
What-
Lisa. I miss all my girls.
What happened? What made you wanna rebrand? What's this new journey that you're entering that you know you're ready for?
Okay. So I did start 2020, which I didn't get to open up, and COVID was already difficult itself. It was probably one of the best years of my life because I learned so much, right? But it was so difficult opening up my own first business on like during COVID. And then the second year came around, and then I switched locations, and it was just a lot of ups and downs. It was a fun ride, but a tough one as well. Emotionally, physically, it took a toll. Owning your business, it does take a toll. It's a lot of responsibility, and I'm not afraid of responsibility. It was just
You were forgetting yourself.
I was forgetting, like, what is my purpose? Because I didn't feel like I was serving, and I wasn't being present how I wanted to be present. So one day I just literally, I'm very fast at making decisions. I did weigh them out. I do write my pros and my cons. I'm very about journaling and writing it down to see it, to write the facts, and and I just said one day, that's it. I need to grow in a different way, and I'm very blessed that I had, how I said, that opportunity. But it's time to move on to the next book. I feel like it's a whole another book of my life, because chapters, yeah, it's a book. It's a book to me because I have so many more things up my sleeve that I wanna bring out.
And I'm so proud of you for being brave enough to take that leap of faith, because I mean the figure salon had already built a brand for itself. I think you were at your peak, and you are right. I do feel like you were deeply connecting with your people because there was just so many of us at this point, and it was just so many of us in classes, and it was being packed, and people were joining the figure salon because they wanted to look like you, because they admired you, they admired the brand, but you weren't even connecting with these people because there was just so many of us. So it was a very selfless thing for you to do,
And it was
to
tough.
carry more about the relationship you wanted with your clients than about the brand as a whole. Like, you cared more about making an impact, which is pretty amazing to me.
And I also thought like which one am I? Like what, like where am I as a mother? Where am I as a human? Where am I as a coach? Where am I? Like, where am I? What am I offering now? Like, what? And that's where I kind of, just how I said, sat and took some time to myself to think about this and say, do I go through with this? And I said yes. I love and honor the time I had here with everybody, and it's time for something new. And it's okay. It's like I let it go with so much love, and accepted the change with open arms.
It's not really like a goodbye, because I feel like we're all following you still.
Yeah.
We're all still like, if anything, now you know who like the diehard fans were, which is me. I'm one of them. I'm still training with you. Not every day, but I'm training with you once a week, since I'm taking a different.
And we still meet up at our yoga, this, that.
Yes, and we're still friends. But I think that like now you know that who you're training is because they admire you, and they're a ride or die, girl.
And yes, there are a lot of my clients that couldn't continue training with me, the distance, but I'll be doing pop-ups. I'm open to pop-ups. I'm open to working with the community, to working with different gym owners, to, just leaving a seed, planting a seed everywhere I go, and still being able to invite my clients
Exactly.
and work with different people.
And now you can have classes at different gyms with different trainers. You can collab with whoever you want, because you're pretty much, you're a freelancer. You're a free spirit. You don't own to anything. You don't own to. Because I feel like once you have your own business and your own label, it restricts you a lot.
Yes.
Because complications, and it's like, how am I gonna, But now you're pretty much free. It's like you're a little fairy. I picture you like a little fairy, and you can pop in anywhere you want to just help and leave a little sparkle dust. Just a spark of dust.
Yes, and you couldn't have said it a better way. Yes, I love to collab. I love to work with other people. I love to learn from other trainers. I love to learn. A rule that I always tell my son and myself, and I live by, is always walk into a place not knowing anything, so you can absorb the most. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Work with different people and learn from everybody. We all have something to learn from someone.
We do. That's what I always tell people, like, when I join something new, or I'm trying something new, what am I learning from this? Am I gonna grab something I'm gonna use later on as knowledge? If I'm not doing, why am I doing it?
Exactly.
And even if you meet people, taking the good and the bad sometimes helps you more than the good. So it's never a failure. Everything happens for a reason.
Everything, exactly. Nothing is a coincidence.
Are you planning on online training as well?
Yes, I am.
Let them know, like, where can we find you? Where can we reach out to you if we're looking for a personal trainer?
So there's my personal page, Instagram. I hardly use Facebook, but it's there. And then I have my page, which was the Figure Salon, and now we rebranded to Train with Jacqueline. And right there, we'll be offering from breakfast meals that we'll be selling, my personal training plans coming to me. I'm gonna start at a new place pretty soon, and that's where I'll be training at. So I have a few online, in person, 3 days a week, and pop-ups, and taste my healthy protein meals.
Tell us, what are your healthy protein meals?
So I have the overnight oatmeal, different flavors. I have the chocolate, the cheesecake.
Yeah.
And every month, I can't wait for the pumpkin one.
No, you're gonna drop it on fall?
Yes, that's mine and Leslie's favorite to be. Oh my gosh, she has
pumpkin spice, or everything nice, or how does that
everything.
saying go?
Yes, protein waffles, protein banana bread, egg white muffins,
Those are my
and
favorites.
the yogurt, the tropical yogurt.
You did not have the egg muffin, right?
I did have it on the menu, but people, I guess, are kind of like, what is that? So it's like the Starbucks, but like Gigantor. Like the little egg bites, but like Gigantor egg muffins.
Nice. And what I was going to ask, okay, so with your yoga, where did you learn? Where did you get to become an instructor? For those of you that are listening and would like to pursue yoga, what do you recommend?
I got my certification in Boerne, Texas. So the year after COVID, the second year of my business, I started training with Mel Marie. She's based off San Antonio, and the most amazing experience of my life. It was a retreat. I enjoyed being there so much because I didn't go to learn asanas, which are the poses. We learned healing, spirituality. It was just another level of amazing.
So your goal why you went, it wasn't to become an instructor, it was to heal.
No, it was instructor, but I really thought I was going in to learn how to do a warrior 2 from, how to sequence, but that I didn't learn none of that. That I already had it in me because during COVID I started practicing yoga, and then I got into the breathing and then the meditation, and then it all fell together, and then I was like, hey, well, let me get my certification. And I ended up finding her. I was going to go to Houston, and for some reason one night I sat in my bed and I was like, no, there has to be another option. Logged on my computer and she just popped up. I looked at her website and I was like, this is her. And I feel like she's been one of the biggest mentors of my life. And so I got certified in Bernie. It took 9 months, but it was just one weekend out of the month that I would go to Bernie. And the place, the teacher, the students I was with, it was just a beautiful experience. And that's how I got certified. So Mel Marie, she's my instructor.
Shout out to Mel Marie.
Yes.
Do they have an Instagram that people can look up to her?
Mel Marie. I would have to look through the handle, but it is Mel Marie Aguirre, and I don't know if she's still doing. I think she does like teacher trainings now. I don't know what she does. To be clearly, because I think she got away from the big group settings
as well.
Yeah, and she's also one of the ones that inspired me that it's okay to close your studio. She closed her studio, and she's like, it's the best thing that could have ever happened to me because I got to expand. And she works with Army. Her husband's in the Army, and she works with amputees. So she's just such an inspiration to me.
Well, so she heals people that are injured in the Army?
Yes, through meditation,
Amazing.
through breathing. She helps all the soldiers how to come to center and
be grounded again.
Yeah, she leads yoga classes at the Spurs studio, at the Spurs stadium.
That's amazing.
So she does a lot of great work with the community.
Is it open to the public, like whenever she holds?
Yes.
We should go.
I would love that, yes.
That would be so fun. I believe when you were going to those classes to get certified, I wasn't training with you, but you would mention them to me. Because you would invite me to go with you just to take it as a trip. You were going once a month, correct? Mm-hmm. Was it always the last week of the month?
It was mid.
It was
mid-month. My mom got to go with me a few times. And that year, I broke free of so many fears. Because fears hold you back so much.
They do.
Let go of those fears and your life will open up. I remember that year, one of them was driving by myself long distance. I was so afraid to fall asleep on the road. And that's when I got even deeper into podcasts because I would listen to them and I would choose the longest ones and I would listen to them and then I would play music and then I would be in silence. And the first drive I took by myself because my mom said, Mijita, I can't go with you. I'm sorry.
This is one of my fears too.
To drive
long distance.
I don't know if I can take 15-hour drive, right? But hey,
but I can do 4.
I can do 4 to San Antonio, Bernie, and yes, yeah. So that I broke free of that fear, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I remember Jerry was cheering me on. My mom, I'm so proud of you.
I love that because it's like such a small fear, but it exists because that's one of my fears right now. Like I've never driven for longer than 3 hours. Yes. No, honestly, yes. Like
me too.
And it's not because I'm afraid of falling asleep. I'm just afraid of my car breaking down. I always have really bad luck with cars. And I'm just afraid of my car breaking down and me it's not that I don't know how to get out of a situation like that. It's just that I don't trust anyone around me.
Okay.
I'm always very cautious on who I trust and I always expect the worst. So that's why it's my fear. And it's crazy because it's not a big fear. Like I can do something really crazy and people be like, oh, so that's worse than driving alone. But for some reason I'm so afraid of driving. Like no. I could take it if you go with me, I'll drive.
Yes. There you go. If you were next to me, I could drive, but then I would start getting sleepy. And I would like the sun would hit me and it would just get me so sleepy.
Really? You can fall asleep anywhere?
Yes. So then rule for me was take off super early in the morning.
Because you're a morning person?
Yes. 4:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. So I would get up, get a workout in, and then by no later than 10 a.m. I would hit the road.
Nice, nice. And it was just a quick weekend trip.
It was quick, yeah, Friday, Saturday, and come back Sunday. And then Sunday class was over at 3 p.m. and I would have to drive. So I was still afraid of the drive back. I'm like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? What if I start getting sleepy? Like, what if I crash? What if I just roll over and I don't make it home because I get sleepy? And nope,
I'm glad you always made it just fine.
Yes, I'm here.
You're here now.
I'm here.
So I'm proud of you for finishing that journey of yours as well. That's amazing that you have that to offer now too. Is that kind of what made you now connect mind and body and soul together?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I guess you did not have enough because now you're trying to go for real estate as well.
Oh
You're
my
a
gosh.
boss woman.
Well, that's another project I have going on, and I'm studying for that. I'm taking it day by day. I'm not rushing because sometimes I tend to just, how I said, make those quick decisions and want everything real quick. But I'm kind of living by let it flow and just, set your schedule, study for it, and it'll come. It'll come, but I have to put my time into it, of course.
And it's gonna land on your lap on perfect timing, just the same way the figures landed on your lap, and then the same way you rebranded on your lap at the same time too.
Yeah.
So now that you're online training, I'm guessing you're having more time for yourself. You feel more free. What are one of the activities that you've been doing for yourself?
Okay, so Mondays and Wednesdays are me time or recharging. I love tennis. I got into tennis. Like, this is my 6th week going, and I'm loving it because I was always afraid of sports because of the ball hitting my face. I was
princess.
so afraid of it. I was a dancer. I was in folklorico, a dancer. So I was so afraid of playing sports. And then I was going through this rough patch because it hurt. It was a breakup, letting go of my studio. It was a divorce. It was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like, is this the right decision or not? So I was like, what can I do to invest my time instead of negative thinking? Well, something positive that I can release this tension. And I looked for my trainer, and he's like, sure. And then I invited my client friend Leslie, and she's on board with me, and I'm enjoying it so much.
Shout out to Leslie. I know she's listening to us right now. She's so excited.
I love you.
She's texting me, estoy llorando. No seas dramática, Leslie. I know you love us.
And being able to have more time for my son and creating my online program that it'll be, later in the process, and just being available. A couple of my friends told me, you were always in a rush. You were always in a rush to get somewhere. Even Leslie told me, said, Baby Jax. She's like, Baby Jax, you were always like rushing. And I was. And now I'm being present. I'm being centered. I can ground down and be like, okay, there is nowhere else to be but right here. This is where I have to be right now, and I'm enjoying it. And I can go out to a simple dinner, be here with you, and not think about, oh my gosh, I have so many, the stress level that was very high. So I have more of the freedom, to be able to socialize, to create, to now work with other, gyms and trainers, and I'm enjoying.
And it's okay for you to do so.
Yes.
Yes, and that's awesome that you say that, because since I have so much on my plate, I try to still talk to people and still somehow sound at ease and at peace, and completely, like, if I'm with you, I'm just focused on you, and then and once I leave, I worry about what's next. But I know it's hard for a lot of people, and it's good that you got yourself out of that for yourself.
Yes, I feel like I did it for mental health also. I was like, my mind wasn't right, and I'm very huge on mental health. Like, exercise your brain every day. Like, I exercise my body, my brain is the first thing I do in the morning. So,
Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to fully show up for others and for other activities that you want to do.
exactly, what you're carrying inside is what you have to offer the world.
For sure, for sure. What does your son say about this? I know Hector's already at an age where he understands and he has opinions and he has his whole personality on his own. What does he tell you? Is he happy about this whole new change?
He goes with the flow all the time. I love I love how he's just my right hand. He's become my best friend. And I know people say don't have your child, like your children, as your best friend. I have my boundaries, of course. Like, but I can say he is my best friend. And
You're also a stern mom, though.
Yes,
you
I
you
am.
still ground him and take away his phone, and like you're not gonna go here. I'm not gonna take you out to eat. I mean, I think you balance it pretty well.
Yes, I believe I do. And he's just for it. And because I sat down when I made the decision and I said, this is what's going to happen. And I don't want you to be afraid. Like, everything's going to be okay, because the fear of, financial everything. And I explained everything to him, and I just said, do you trust me? He said, like right here's like, it got me emotional. I'm sorry. But we
No
were
worries.
sitting down in my old apartment because I also moved. And I told him, these are the changes that are happening. And I just want you to trust in me and trust in the decisions, because I'm not going to fail. This is going to help us. And he said, okay. And that's it. He just goes with the flow, and he trusted me. He has to. I mean, what other choice does he have? But
Hector unfortunately cannot be here with us, but he wishes, and I wish he could have too.
yeah, he's a character. I love him so much.
He's so funny. Well, and you're doing great. You're gonna be great. I'm more than sure, because even when these microphones turn off and the camera's not on, I know you and I hear you, and I know that whatever you say your mind to is gonna work out at the end.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Do you have anyone you want to give a shout out to? Any extra words?
Shout out to you, to all the people that have believed in me, that have always cheered me on, and I couldn't see the potential in myself. Nadia, Jerry, my mom, Hector, you, Leslie, my clients, my coaches, Carla, everybody that I've been able to meet and work with. Thank you, everybody, and to more growth.
Thank you, Joe. Do you have any extra words that you want to announce? Any shout outs you want to announce coming up? Any events that we have going on?
Yes, we've got an event coming up that we're working with the Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association, and that's coming up. They're having a telethon, and they're going to be having a Dancing with the Stars event. And so,
Fun.
yeah, stay tuned, because we're going to be part of that. So we're going to be pushing it. We're going to be announcing it. And in fact, next week we're going to have some ladies from the Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association here in the studio. And so, stay tuned for that. And now I'd like to ask a question to Jackie there. Once again, in case folks are just joining us, we have an interview, great interview in the studio today. But please tell us how folks can get a hold of you via social media, a hold of your gym and so forth.
Okay, so you guys can find me on my Instagram, Jacqueline. It's a little long, so it's JACQUELLINE_Bazan. Or you guys can go through my fitness one, which is Train with Jacqueline. And those are the main ones that people can find me through.
And now, once again, words of encouragement for folks that are trying to get their life in order, because a lot of it has to with our lifestyle.
Yes,
A
correct.
lot of things. I'll hear it all the time. I'm not in a good place right now. I'm struggling. I'm having a rough time. Words of encouragement that you can give to someone just to get started, just to start. I heard a guy sometime back in a podcast that he's into fitness, and he's a guru now. But he said that the way he's just started by just driving to the gym. For his first day, he didn't even go in. He just got up in the morning, drove to the gym, and then went back home. But that was his first step. He needed to take that first step. And so what's a word of encouragement that you could send out to our listeners?
So I usually tell my clients 1% increment changes daily. Just be proud of where you're at today. Don't ever focus on what you still have to go. You're here today. You did 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes. Be proud of yourself and your work. And you will see the small little changes daily add up to the year, to the 2 years. And it's a lifestyle. Do it for your health, for your kids, for your future, so you could last a long time. And don't deprive yourself from, eating that cookie, eating that cake, socializing with people. It's not about that. Make it fun. make it fun. Do something that you enjoy doing so you could keep it in your routine.
That's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I can't wait to see what the future has to hold for you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being a part of my venture.
Like
Thank
always.
you for having me here.
And thank you guys for joining us on 97.7 FM. Make sure you tune in next week again to catch Evolving in the RGV.
Yes, we have another really cool guest that I can't wait to announce.
That's right. And we're going to be celebrating our quinceañera. You know, this week we it was our birthday for the radio station, and so we are 15 years old. So
¿Quién va a tocar?
I don't, for sure, Chayanne's Tiempo de Vals is gonna be on loop. But yeah, tune in next week. We're gonna put up some decorations here in the booth, and so we're gonna be celebrating our quinceañera. Feel free to bring your bust out your tuxedos and come up and say hi. Bust out your old quinceañera dress and show up to the radio station next week. We'll have a cake and just kind of hang out.
Awesome. Can't wait. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All I wanna do is drive home to you, baby. I'm faded. All I wanna do is take you downtown, baby. I'm wasted. All I wanna do is drive home to you, baby. I'm faded. All I wanna do is take you downtown, baby. Stay you.